Welcome, guests. Here at No Vacancy, before we start, we just wanted to thank all of our new guests that decided to stay with us by subscribing. It really helps us out, and we appreciate it. If you don't mind, just take a second to like and leave a comment. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Today's story is based on true events from a search and rescue officer. These are all his personal accounts of the wilderness, so let's just get into it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your stay in room 66. Hello all. I've been a search and rescue officer for over 15 years now, and along the way, I've seen some things that I think you guys will be interested in. One of the scariest things that has ever happened to me involved the search for a young woman who'd gotten separated from her hiking group. We were out until late at night, searching and searching for her, till it started to get pitch black, and once it goes dark in those woods, it's really hard to see anything. Because the dogs had picked up her scent, we found her. She was curled up under a large rotted log. She was missing her shoes and pack, and she was clearly in shock. She didn't have any injuries, and we were able to get her to walk with us back to base ops. Along the way, she kept looking behind us and asking why that big man with black eyes was following us. We couldn't see anyone, so we just wrote it off as some weird symptom of shock. But the closer we got to base, the more agitated this woman got. She kept asking me to tell him to stop making faces at her. At one point, she stopped and turned around and started yelling into the forest, saying that she wanted him to leave her alone. She wasn't going to go with him, she said, and she wouldn't give us to him. We finally got her to keep moving, but we started hearing these noises coming from all around us, but louder from behind. It was almost like coughing, but more rhythmic and deeper. It was almost insect-like. I don't really know how else to describe it. When we were within a mile of base ops, the woman turns to me, and her eyes are about as wide as I can imagine a human could open them. She touches my shoulder and says, "He says to tell you to speed up. He doesn't like to look at the scar on your neck." I have a very small scar on the base of my neck, but it's mostly hidden under my collar, and I have no idea how this woman saw it. Right after she says it, I hear that weird coughing right in my ear, and I just about jumped out of my skin. I hustled her to ops, trying not to show how freaked I was, but I have to say, I was really happy when we left the area that night. Another time, I was teamed up with another search and rescue officer because we'd received reports of bears in the area. We were looking for a guy who hadn't come home from a climbing trip when he was supposed to, and we ended up having to do some serious climbing to get to where we figured he'd be. We found him trapped in a small crevice with a broken leg. It wasn't pleasant. He had been there for almost 2 days, and his leg was very obviously infected. We were able to get him into a chopper, and I heard from one of the EMTs that the guy was absolutely inconsolable. He kept talking about how he had been doing fine, and when he had gotten to the top, a man had been there. He said the guy had no climbing equipment, and he was wearing a parka and ski pants. He walked up to the guy, and when the guy turned around, he said the guy had no face. It was just blank. He freaked out and ended up trying to get off of the mountain too fast, which is why he had fallen. He said he could hear the guy all night climbing down the mountain and letting out these horrible muffled screams. That story bothered the hell out of me, and I'm glad I wasn't there to hear it. This last one I'll tell you is probably the weirdest story I have. Now, I don't know if this is true in every search and rescue unit, but in mine, it's sort of an unspoken regular thing we run into. You can try asking about it with other search and rescue officers, but even if they know what you're talking about, they probably won't say anything about it. We've been told not to talk about it by our superiors, and at this point, we've all gotten so used to it that it doesn't even seem weird to us anymore. On just about every case where we're really far into the wilderness, I'm talking 30 or 40 miles, at some point, we'll find a staircase in the middle of the woods. It's almost like if you took the stairs from your house, you cut them out, and you put them in the forest. I asked about it the first time I saw some, and the other officer just told me not to worry about it, that it was normal. Everyone I asked said the same thing. I wanted to go check them out. but I was told very empathically that I should never go anywhere near them. I just sort of ignore them now when I run into them because it happens so frequently. Thanks, guests, for your stay here at No Vacancy in room 66. Remember to leave your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe.